In the latest on the Gold One mine saga, the mine is reportedly starting with disciplinary processes against workers for participating in the sit-in underground. Now, those in the firing line, in fact, appear to be the 550 who were underground. But let's get more details now and speak to Ziyaad Hassam, who is the legal head of the mine. Thank you so much, Ziyaad, for your time this evening. Let's just start with some clarification. Is it true that some of the workers are facing disciplinary action? If yes, how many?
Correct. So at this stage, the number of employees that we've got facing disciplinary action is 42. That's at the last count this afternoon. Those disciplinary hearings will commence tomorrow morning. We were just finalizing logistics around hiring or appointing independent professionals to chair those hearings. We wanted to make sure that those hearings are as fair as we possibly could make them. So those hearings will commence tomorrow morning.
And what charges are they facing?
So the charges, the initial charges or the initial people that have been charged are primarily those that were seen to be the key instigators of what was going on underground 2 weeks ago. Some of those that have been charged are also persons who were picketing within the premises, despite a clear instruction by the employer that nobody was to be at work during those days. There was also two interdicts that were obtained against AMCU and any of its members from picketing or from any industrial action. So anybody who was found in contravention of that as well would be charged.
All right. So are they charged with instigating, or what exactly have the charges been formulated to be?
So as I said, it's a combination. It's a combination of the activities that happen underground as well as those that were on surface.
So of the 42, as you say that, I mean, we've been reporting that it was about 550 who were underground and all of that. How will you ascertain that these 42 are persons of interest when it comes to possibly instigating the violence, some of the 42, that is?
So we've done a fairly thorough internal investigation following the events of a few weeks ago. That involved studying the underground footage that we obtained from the cameras underground, as well as the evidence or the testimony from a number of employees who were being held underground against their will. Through that process, we were able to identify these initial employees. That number might increase as the days go by. But for now, those are the people that we have identified as being central to what had gone on.
Which union did they belong to?
That's a very hard question to answer because technically all our employees still belong to the NUM. We've got a closed shop agreement with the NUM. So in terms of that, all employees do belong to them. Now, whether these employees are sympathizers with the AMCU position or elect to join AMCU is speculation. They certainly have not. Nobody has been charged for belonging to a particular union. The charges are specifically around contraventions of our code of conduct as well as engaging in criminal activity.
All right. So when we talk about the majority of unions, and I think the reason I'm asking this question is because I'm sure, as you've been aware as the mine, and also some of the conversations that we would have had here on the show, have been that there is this dispute about recognition in terms of AMCU saying that it's got the majority of the membership at the mine, and then the NUM saying that from where it stands, they are still the majority union at the mine. They still do represent the mine workers. But now there are claims that, of course, there's forms, as AMCU is claiming that you are in possession as the mine of forms that these members have signed. So I wonder then, how far are you when it comes to resolving this particular issue of recognition?
The unfortunate reality is that we're dealing with two unions who are both going to make this process as difficult as they possibly can. We have received a petition from AMCU a few days ago that contains around about 1,200 signatures. We are in the process of verifying the authenticity of all of those signatures to ensure that the names on that petition are in fact employees. We've handed that petition over to the NUM. In terms of the closed shop agreement, the onus rests on the NUM to now call a ballot, and that ballot will determine whether the majority of the employees elect to stay with the closed shop agreement or whether that agreement needs to be dissolved. At this stage, we've got no agreement with the NUM as in terms of the timing and the process of that ballot. We've engaged with them again this afternoon, and they have to come back to us later this week in terms of their proposal for the timing and the running of that ballot. At the same time, we are in contact with AMCU, and we are keeping them abreast of what's going on in terms of the consultations with the NUM.